Welcome to And Know, where we can discover God's Word together. And Know is taken from the verse found in Psalm 46. Be still and know that I am God. Being still actually takes a lot of patience and energy. Every day, we hustle from here to there. So let's challenge ourselves to take just a moment to be still and see where God might lead us today.
Welcome to episode 18 of And Know. You'll notice today that my voice is a little raspier than usual. It is due to the fact that I was yelling at my kids and my niece. The past 6 days have been very sports heavy with basketball, volleyball, and hockey. And I am not a quiet spectator. Now, before you think I'm that kind of fan, I am excessively optimistic and love an underdog comeback. I love encouraging, but sometimes it's pretty loud at these games. So apologies for the way I sound, but it was so worth cheering my heart out. Today's podcast is actually going to focus on encouragement. There's a great verse in Proverbs that says, "Whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm." Now, you might be wondering, what is the connection between encouragement and walking with wise people? But the correlation between these two is actually pretty vital to good mental health and staying on a faith journey that continues to bring you closer to God. Let's chat about encouragement first. When you think of this word, is there a story that comes to mind? It could be about you encouraging someone, or it could be about someone encouraging you. When we take the time to encourage, we're telling that person that I believe in you. We are lifting them up. We're motivating them. We get to be a part of their support crew. So what's the opposite of encouragement? Well, the obvious choice would be to say it's to discourage, but I think it goes deeper than that. When we don't encourage, we're actually telling them that we don't believe in them. In a way, we are suppressing their dream. Instead of lifting up, we're disheartening them. In a previous podcast, I shared how important words can be, whether spoken verbally or through body language. It's important to point out, though, that the kind of encouragement that I'm talking about is the authentic kind, not just a pat on the back or a flimsy way to go. No, I'm talking about the encouragement that makes a meaningful impact. As previously mentioned, my voice is a little hoarse right now because of all the cheering. Now, I have asked my kids if I am too loud for them, and they have promised me that they love it. But I've asked them because, unfortunately, I've witnessed the exact opposite of positive encouragement. I have seen coaches and parents rail on their kids, on other parents, or on opposing teams. And it is so uncomfortable to watch. I have also witnessed incredible encouragement, and that is a beautiful sight to behold. Encouragement goes a long, long way. In fact, it goes so much further than that one moment when someone hears, "You've got this." The kind of positive, authentic reinforcement, that kind of encouragement, well, that can last a lifetime. Let's hear the verse one more time. "Whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm." I don't know very many people who would argue against this statement. It is pretty safe to agree that yes, when you spend time with wise people, you will become wiser. And when you spend time with fools, well, this Bible verse doesn't say you become foolish. It actually goes a step further than that. King Solomon says that the fools will suffer harm. Now, he doesn't specify what kind of harm, but we know that harm comes in all sorts of shapes and sizes. We can feel physical pain, spiritual pain, and emotional pain. And when we feel harmed, well, it often takes a long time to heal. So we know that being encouraged is important, and we know that walking with wise people is important. But let's just sit with this for a bit. If you can, imagine a time when you were given advice by someone who was wise. And if you can, imagine a time when you've been encouraged. What did that feel like? Well, for me, when I think of the times that I have received wise counsel, when I've felt like I have been encouraged, that authentic kind of encouragement, I feel as though I can handle so much more. I feel as though I've been validated. I feel seen and heard. And most importantly, I feel loved. What's the opposite of this? Well, imagine for a moment those times you've gotten terrible advice or were told what you were wanting to hear and not what you were needing to hear. Imagine those moments when you spent time with people who just made bad choices. I know the good Lord protected me more times than I'd care to remember, especially in my teenage years. And know this. This is why there is a beautiful bond between encouragement and spending time with wise people. Authentic encouragement can only come from wisdom. And those who are wise will encourage when they know what you're doing is the right thing to do. But here's the kicker. Us humans are silly and we make mistakes. And even when we're trying our best, well, sometimes we still mess up. So where do we find the most authentic encouragement? Where do we find the most wisdom around? Well, that can only come from the one who created us. He wants to protect us from pain and suffering. The Bible is filled with stories of his continued faithfulness to his people. He wants to guide us. Psalm 23 verse 3 says it best. He refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right paths for his name's sake. Surrounding yourself with people who will give you truth and provide encouragement is so important. But it is also important to remember that the best source comes from God. And we can find all that wisdom throughout the entire Bible. And when we're spending time in his word, well, then we really are keeping good company.